Red alert, RBT, snaps and chats coming to you today, Monday, April 7th. Man, we got some stuff to talk about with you today. I hope y'all out there give us a call, 248-820-5053. I have a special guest here today, Barry Fisher. Say hi to everybody, Barry.
Hello, everyone. Barry Fisher coming at you.
All right, he coming at you. Be watching out. And I got my lovely publicist over here, Tamika Thompson. Go on, Tamika, shout them out.
Hello, everyone. How are you? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Yes.
That sounds like Happy Monday. She had to drag it up today, I guess. I don't know. I'm just saying. I went into work a little happy, but my thing was when I went into work today, I asked the girls, so what was your weekend like? Because I want to know what the rest of this week finna be like.
Mm-hmm.
What did you drag in with you today? If you came in with a smile and came in happy, then I think that you'll carry that through the week. So that's why I asked you all what was the best part of your day today.
Okay.
Because I think that establishes a standing foundation for you to start. And seeing that today's topic is breaking strongholds, is a lot of you all out there that have strongholds that's keeping you down. And Barry is in the business where he is uplifting people and motivating them and teaching them and instructing them on how to manifest a business of your own and to be mindful about the business. And then, of course, we have Tamika over here, who's already the publicist. A1, get with her if you need her. She's already doing motivational things like that, uplifting. She even got a little bit of a doctor under her belt, but we'll talk about that at another time. But sure enough. But Barry, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, my name is Barry Fisher. Once again, I'm from Brooklyn, New York. I've been in Flint, Michigan now for a little over 22 years with my wonderful wife here. She's originally from Flint.
All right. Shout out Flint Town, stand up.
And we've been making our home here. And I've been a father or a husband, but more so of entrepreneurship.
Okay.
I worked in corporate America for about 30 years and decided in 2022 to step out on my own.
Okay.
Because I felt it was time for me to start looking at how I can be a resources to others, rather than just to the masses. And what I mean by the masses, where when you work in corporate America, you're working for others in the masses of what you're doing for them, rather than what you're doing for the people that need the assistance.
Right.
And I found that it was time for me to be able to give that service the opportunity to those that needed that assistance. And starting a company called Sweet Teas Venture LLC in 2020, and just being able to say my slogan is to see the vision, because small businesses have the opportunity to want to be big businesses, but they have the big business responsibility, but they also have the big business expense.
Right.
And we want to be able to offer that big business opportunity, but we don't want to see them have that big business expense. And that's what I want to be able to share with them, and then be able to offer them an opportunity where to protect that for them and be able to give them opportunity where we can grow with them throughout the process and learn, and they can learn what I can learn what they're doing and be able to offer the assistance that we can provide and grow along with them.
All right.
Now that's breaking strongholds.
Mm-hmm. That is
breaking strongholds, because when I think about businesses, a lot of people were never taught how to do a business, how to business mind think, because it's a totally different way of thinking. Instead of just saying, oh, let me go budget and pay my bills today. It ain't got nothing to do with that, trust me. And you know a lot about business because you got about how many of us? Go on and tell us.
I have one business, JKG, Just Keep Going. Consulting LLC.
Okay.
We just celebrated 4 years March 31st, so I'm excited about that. I really took last year to say that I'm going to push it further.
Mm-hmm.
Again, small businesses have big business expenses, so I'm really pushing towards that, applying for more grants and everything to help me grow my business and to expand my business.
Amen.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? And I'm just a man in the middle. I got an LLC, but I work for a business.
So do I.
And the business I work for is a business been around for a long time, but I'm learning from those business owners to maybe one day be my own business owner.
Right.
And then I'm learning from you, and I'm going to get some pointers from you.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm learning from a lot of people that I'm in a good circle around in regards to that. So, Barry, you said you was born in Brooklyn, New York.
Mm-hmm.
And what's the difference between lifestyle in Brooklyn, New York, and here in City of Flint, if you're using anything that we're going with in today's society?
Well, I would say one thing that in Brooklyn, New York, and when I was growing up in Brooklyn, New York, it was based on what I call survival.
Yeah.
because you had to always constantly, like I was talking with Mr. George, growing up in New York, you had to look over your shoulder each way you go.
Okay.
Being in Flint is a little more slower, but it's a little more mindset of being present.
Okay.
And being aware of what's happening.
Right.
But the one thing that I see here with Flint right now, with what it's been through, is an opportunity of growth.
Right.
Growth.
And there's a need for unity.
Yes.
We
and
talked about that a couple weeks ago.
Unity is really beneficial for those that are looking to be able to bring things together rather than pull things apart. And one of my slogans that when I sit down with each individual I always talk about, it's not how much money I make off you, it's how much money we make together, because the benefit of what we do together is taking care of those that we come in contact with long term, not just short term.
Exactly. Right. That means you got to have a plan. Again, breaking the stronghold.
Yes.
Because a lot of people, but they have that fear. They have that fear like, I'm going to make you rich, but I'm going to stay poor. That's that mind frame that we need to break from, because if someone is taking the time out to show you the rope, actually giving you the rope, not to hang yourself, but to be able to sustain yourself and pull yourself through, why are you going to say, that's just like, I just learned it, but I've been hearing that's kind of what people did to Jesus, They didn't want to believe that he was here to help. They didn't want to believe that he was extending this to them, because it's never been done before. Nobody's ever said this to me. Nobody's ever gave me the opportunity. And I think that to break these strongholds, that we really, really, really need to allow ourselves to trust people. I ain't saying be stupid.
Right.
If you know what I mean. If you feel like somebody taking advantage of you, call 911. I'm just saying.
Call 911.
Whatever you do not allow anyone to manipulate you or your life.
Right.
So basically, I'm coming from you today from Out of the Mud, Inc. with George F. Grundy II and James Mayfield, the greatest Mayfield. Shout out to y'all. They're making it happen for us to be here to express the things that we love about the city of Flint.
Right.
That's what it's all about. I'm a Flintstone, you're a Flintstone, and you are a Flintstone after 22 years of being in this place. You can't deny it. I still hear some of that new yacht. I'm not taking that from New York or whatever. But I'm going to read a quick poem. Well, I ain't going to say it's quick, but y'all know how I do. I'm going to shout out one. This is out of my book, Letters to My Lord. If you haven't got it yet, it's time for you to grab it, because I promise you it's things in here that's going to change the way you think about everything you're doing in your surroundings to make you change for the better you. And everybody want to be better, right?
Absolutely, we do.
Right?
Yes.
All right. This poem today is called When the Pressure is On. When you are living alone, it could sometimes feel like your four walls are squeezing all the guilt, hurt, pain, and shame you hold. You think there is no one there to comfort your soul, and make you feel whole. You ignore our God, and all you think about is evil spirits you've been hanging around and lingering on. You should rethink your woes. Basically, truly, you're not in control. This life is not yours. It belongs to the Lord. You are on borrowed time, so stop letting insanity constantly remind and blow your mind. The pressure is on. The blood has already been shed. Jesus laid down his life by God's word, so your soul is already fed. Psalms 119, blessed are those who keep his testimonies, who seek him with all their heart. Do not let the world you see become the place you hide and seek to live in the dark. You will miss my Lord when he returns for the lowly and meek to have a fresh start. Grow with the world. Do not just live in it. Do not fall from grace. Ask him for forgiveness. The commandments he has set forth was made with your destiny in it. Because when the pressure of life consumes you in it, the Lord will provide a way for you to repent for your salvation. Believe in him to avoid damnation. You are his greatest creation. It's been said. Without God in you, your soul is already dead. When the pressure is on, you have unsettling thoughts in your head. You fear all the wrong things. You have never listened to what Jesus said. How you should not fear people or things that kill the body. They cannot kill your body and your soul. When you are a true follower of our Lord, he is in control. Fear him rather than man. God can destroy all you own from his throne and cast you down to dwell in hell. Only time will tell who follows the Lord or who lives by the edge of the sword. When the pressure is on, have faith and believe in the Lord. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. So I don't know why I chose that, but I usually just pick a random poem. But it had the word growth in there. And I didn't
Right.
realize that till I got to that sentence. And this young gentleman, yes, young gentleman over here, stated something to me earlier when I asked him if he had kids. What did you tell me?
They're all grown.
Grown and gone.
And gone.
I said, wow. So lifestyle that you have and the things that you're expressing and teaching people and helping them grow within. How'd you manage to do all that having kids? By the way, how many kids do you have?
I have 5.
5.
My youngest will be the youngest will be 40. The oldest is 48.
Okay, so you got them all together. You got some steps.
Yeah,
Okay.
they were early. Had them early.
All right, have a bird and start
Mhm.
early and quit early and be
Mhm.
done with. There you go. Hey, that's a good way.
Mhm.
But so doing all these things, you said you worked these corporations, you
Mhm.
worked at banks, you did all these things. How'd you manage to keep your sanity and your stress level and anxiety together with 5 children?
Well, the first thing is being spiritually grounded,
Amen.
Absolutely. Amen.
Y'all hear that,
having
man?
the guidance of my life made it strong for me
All right,
because granted I did have the craziness of growing up,
everybody.
but the
We
thing
all do.
is, when you learn the ways of doing things the right way, you
Yeah.
got to change because no one else can change you but you.
That's right.
But the thing is, once you understand those changes, you have to follow it.
You have to
Yes, you
follow
have
it.
to follow the plan.
I followed it, and I made the adjustments.
Yeah.
Well, after the second marriage, the everything fell into place. The
Okay.
first marriage didn't go as well as it should, but the second one is fantastic.
That means you learned something, or
So,
in the relationship, you learned to grow from it.
27 years in now.
Okay,
All right, amen.
congratulations.
Congratulations,
And
Miss
going.
Fisher.
But the thing that keeps it strong is the 3 accord. Because can't nobody break 3 accords.
Right.
That's right.
And with having that keeps me and my wife grounded to where we look at each other and love one another. But the other thing is it keeps me in connection with my children, even though they're not here in Michigan.
Right.
We still communicate and
Amen.
allow each other to be who they need to be and talk on the things that they want to talk about because they all grown.
Right.
So I don't need to be able to be dad
And lecture.
now, and lecture. Now I need to be
We
friend.
talked about that.
Yes.
Now to be
said about
friend and sociable.
Yes.
Yes.
And that's the thing that I appreciate now that I can be a friend and sociable and
I like
listen
that. I like how you
and
put
honor
that.
what they want to do and listen to what they want to do
Right.
and just guide them through it.
And guide them through
Amen.
it. Yes.
Y'all
And-
give us a call, 248-820-5053. We talking some heavy stuff. I know y'all going through things because we all are.
Right.
This is not a joke. This is seriously breaking strongholds. And I know I'm trying to break mine.
So
I'm
you
trying
got
to
a
break
comment about your poem. Tommy Boy said, "Amen, beautiful poem. You chose it because I whispered it to you."
I remember
Tommy
you.
Boy.
Tommy Boy, that's what said Charlisa was out at 1:30 in the morning. Well, thank you very much. Because sometimes things happen in the spiritual world that's unseen to our eyes. So if you wish that to be in that book that I wrote months and months ago, then you know what? Bless you. And thank you.
Paying attention to you.
Paying
All
attention
right
to
now.
you.
All right, red alert, red alert. Oh man, so Barry, you mentioned a little earlier about working for the bank. Did you enjoy that?
Yes, because I got to learn a lot.
Okay.
I got to learn, 1, the industry, 2, how the industry act with the community, and also understanding how to work with people.
Okay.
All right.
Because the one thing you learn about being in any business is the people is what makes the business.
Right.
It's not the business that make the
the
people. It's the
That's
business
true.
that make the
A
business.
tunkata, a tunkata, a tunkata.
And
That means
customer
the
service is my pet peeve because I believe the better you give the services, the better that your business is going to grow.
Amen.
And we've been able, when the branches that I was able to run, to lead with great customer experience for a number of years, not 1 or 2 years, but a number of years.
Oh, wow.
And still to this day, I have customers that calls me even though I'm no longer there, wanting assistance on how to get things done, even though I'm not there anymore.
Well,
and that's a wonderful thing to appreciate.
So customer service is key to a lot of businesses.
Yes.
But how would you advise the younger generation coming up
Great
who
answer.
they don't really
Question.
interact with
Mhm.
people that much? How would you advise them to provide better customer service?
One of the things is to get out of from in front of the computer.
Right.
The second thing is to get off their phone.
Yes.
And because
Yes.
you got to start communicating. And that's the one thing you got to do is start. When we grew up, we had to park across the street. We didn't have the cell phones. So we
Right.
had to get out and play baseball and talk to one another and sit down and laugh and joke. But you got to know each other.
Right.
And you got to get to know the person next to you on the right, next to you on the left. But you got to get to know a person. Even when you go to school today, they need to take the phones out of the classrooms.
Yeah.
And the things is the communication needs to be verbal.
Yes.
Yes.
Because now you can visually see what's happening. You can see what's being said. You can see the body language.
Right.
And when you write with a
Mhm.
pen or a pencil, that embeds in your mind
Right.
Yes.
longer than
Mhm.
typing it or longer than looking at it, you know?
And that's why one of
It's-
my slogans is documentation beats conversation any day of the week.
Woo-wee.
Yeah.
Documentation
beat conversation any day of the week.
I like that.
Mine is trust but verify.
Mine is today is better than yesterday because yesterday was better than the day before. That's
Because you
my.
can all down on paper so we can go back and get what
Absolutely.
we need. Yep.
Yes, I
Mhm.
definitely agree with that because it is really powerful to be able to say that out
Mhm.
loud and let people understand that. Because to me, some of the things they do in school, like when we first learned how to look at pictures and know what it is, we looked at it by sight and it stayed in our brain. That's
Right.
a lion, that's a monkey, that's a banana. You know,
Right.
now you can go on the internet and just talk into it, or
Right.
you ain't even gotta try to spell it or nothing no more. Just tell
Right.
it what you want it to do. Yeah, I'm not knocking the internet. Don't get me wrong, because I can't get out in Beecher nowhere around without a GPS. Do not. I am not the direction girl. I need to depend on electronics. But I'm just saying, I think that you're right.
Mhm.
Get back to basics. So, what's one of the things that your basic thing you usually touch bases on with people? Is it about the way they spend or the way they save?
For me, is how you structure.
Okay.
Because structure is first, and that's one of the things I have there on my thing is just strategic planning. How do you structure what you want to be able to do with the business that you have? Because my first question is one, what was your thought when you started to think about the business that you're
Okay.
in?
Okay.
Two, why are you looking? Why did you start this business? Is it like I asked George? He had many hats, and I said, why? Then the other question is why did you start this business? Is it something that's part of you? Is it something that's in you? Like for me, wanting to be a part of starting Sweet Teas Venture LLC because I wanted to work with small to medium sized businesses
Okay.
because of the fact that those are the main industries of any city you go to. 85% of any city you go to is small to medium sized businesses before they become big.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So-
Okay. I didn't know that.
So
Yeah.
you want to be able to work with the ones that's going to start you out with the smaller growth to where they can be the bigger growth.
Right.
Okay.
And that's why I said start the strategic planning is first, because you got to understand when you plan and the expenses that goes with that plan before you can know where you're going.
Okay.
Well said. Hey, did y'all hear that? Who got that message?
I got the message.
I got the message.
But I'm looking for some more pointers. So where do I
Mhm.
start strategically?
Ooh,
Yeah.
I get
God,
tongue-tied
I
in
gotta
it
slow
too.
down.
got you all excited.
Yeah.
Where do I start?
We have one thing I do a class, and that's what I have on my page is I do the strategic planning, I do the family dynamics consulting because
Okay.
I sit down with you one-on-one.
Okay.
The first consultation is always free because I want to get to know who you are.
Okay.
And then that way we can start mapping out the plan of how we're going to look at what we want to do. And then we put a plan together on how we want to progress through that step and how many weeks we want to work through that progress.
Okay.
Because the one thing
Okay.
we got to look at is growing up playing sports, you got a coach.
Yes.
And in business, you need to have a coach because
Yes.
there's different stages
Yeah.
you're going to be going through in
Yes.
business
Absolutely.
that
Yes.
you're going to learn.
Right.
A lot of times when you look at even in corporate America, a lot of times you pushed into training, but you're not coached through that training.
Right. Absolutely.
The thing is, if we coach through
But
that
they
training,
push you through school.
you're given the understanding of what it takes to get through the fundamentals. And like I was talking to
Antonio
today, the fundamentals, when you're talking about the girls' game, the fundamentals are more important than just wanting to dunk.
Right. And the
jump.
highlights. Yes.
Yep. If we get the fundamentals keep us strong because it takes us back to what we can say, oh, I learned this.
Right.
Now I can progress forward.
Okay.
And,
wow.
And I like that a lot because it gives me the understanding to where I know I can work with what we need to do.
Okay.
So even with like sitting here right here, I have my warm market script. Even though I know it personally, I still have it written down to where I can read it if I need to read it.
Yes.
So I'm still
Giving
sticking with
accurate information.
I'm still sticking with the fundamentals. So if I forget something, I can go back and look at it.
I know that's right.
Okay.
I'm a firm believer of pen to paper too. You know, I might have a thought and I immediately try to jot it down, whether it be in my note on my electronic phone or I bring up a pen and paper. But I always keep a pen and paper with me, no matter where I'm at. And I'm always jotting down stuff. Like I hear things like, oh yeah, let me write that down. You know, stuff like that. Because my fundamentals of the prosperity, what I'm trying to go is to, you know, sustain myself through my writing.
Right.
I'm not a Hemingway, but I might be going my way.
Right.
McBride's way. I'm not Hemingway, but I'm McBride's way. You know, I got that sign in the back room. But anyway, so I really think that what you're doing is great because we really need this in our city of Flint.
We do.
So why did you choose Flint? I know you said your wife was born and raised here, right?
Well,
I'm just saying, why did you choose Flint to give this information that you have so graciously learned and build up? You're willing to make sure everybody in Flint who comes to see you, take your class or whatever it is, understand how to get out of the mud.
Well,
that's all I'm saying.
Honest with you, it's a city on the upward growth.
Yeah. Thank you for saying that.
And the thing is, being in the different network groups that I'm part of, listen to the information that's being shared, listening to the city council things that's being talked about. The city of Flint is on a directory that most people don't even understand where it's going.
Oh wow.
And the thing is, if we do what we need to do and put ourselves in the right position with the unity, not individually.
Okay.
The unity, because I like to look at things based on a one-stop shop.
Yes.
Okay.
And I built a lot of that so far in the last 3 years since I walked away from corporate America to be able to have individuals work with me to where I can put them in place with different individuals to be able to meet their needs of what they want to be able to do.
Okay.
And it's not all about me making money off of, like I said before, you to making all the money off of you, but making more money with you. Because if I help your business grow, if introducing you to the CPA that can take care of your expenses, your bookkeeping, and also show you how to make sure your taxes are done the right way, where you're not being audited and all of that, but your growth is constantly still going up. What that looks like for me when we talk the next time.
Right.
You know, Barry, I got so-and-so, you can now.
Exactly.
So
networking.
It makes it stronger. It makes it more solidified across the board because now you're looking at, he is really working hard to be able to make things work for others, not just himself.
Right.
But the thing is taking care of that individual's business, is taking care of your business, taking care of my business, but it's also growing our business because now we're going to refer back to each other as we go along continuously.
Absolutely.
Banter. Good banter.
And
yes,
and that's the thing that makes me smile each day, makes me get up in the morning at 5 a.m. in the morning, ready to get started with my day and start planning my morning to be able to start off how I want my day to be.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
I have a question. Now, when you speak of corporate America and just being in business, how important to you is having a corporate book or a corporate kit, you know, with your seals and things, if you're a C corporation?
It's very important Because one, you want to be able to have the right structure. And structure is important because if you don't know where your everything is going or how it's broke down, you're flying by the seat of your pants. And that's why you want to make sure. That's why I said you want to have the right. I don't know have all the answers, but I have the individuals that have the answer.
Right.
So I want to put you in front of those individuals that they can help you put the right structure there. And when you got that right structure, you know you operate in the way you need to operate.
Right. Now, doesn't things like that help businesses leverage for credit and leverage for other business that they can do when they have their documents in order outside of just doing the work?
It leverages for two things, actually three things. It leverages one, to operate the proper way to open up accounts.
Okay.
It leverages the other way for credibility. And it also leverages you for grants. Because what knocks a lot of people out for getting grants is not having the proper paperwork and proper documentation in place. And that's the thing that knocks you out most of the time. And I've been through that myself personally.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And last question, and I'll let you guys get back to it. When it comes to scaling, what and how do you suggest a business plan on scaling, and whether it be time, like 6 months or annually, or whether it be reinvestment? What is your suggestion on scaling your business?
There's a two part to that. One, you want to look at it in a 12-week process. There's a good book out there by Brian Moran, because all of us work on a quarterly or annually basis.
Right.
Brian Moran changed that focus for me to where we look at on a 12-week basis.
Okay.
Because now you're not focusing on just an annual quarterly basis. You're looking at a 12-week process, but you're looking at just three things rather than a multiple of things. Because none of us can look at 25 different situations and be able to get all those done. But what you want to look at, the first thing is timing. Because timing is the one thing that you don't get back.
Right.
So how much time you want to put into the process of what you want to get done. The second thing is, what is the process of what you want to work on, and you want to be dedicated to that to follow it all the way through. Because a lot of times we get to that point to where we stop, and as soon as we stop, everything happens, and we missed out on it. And then the third thing is, how much do we want to invest in it to be able to make it grow so that we know we put in the right efforts and the right investment into that process to be able to go where we need to go. Because the one thing I always say to my business partners is, don't worry about the results. Put in the activity, because the more activity you put in is what you control. You can't control the results. I can't control what your results are. I can control your activity and show you how to improve your activity to get greater results at the end, because the activity is going to improve your results.
Great advice. Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, that sounds very good. Y'all hear all this good information? We got Barry Fisher in the house. We got Tamika Thompson in the house. We just sharing information, but we expecting you to give us a call if you can and let us know what your thoughts is. You might got a question for him while you're here. Utilize the situation, break some strongholds in Flint. Start reaching out to people that can assist you and help you. I want to give a shout out to the MUA Jock for all your beauty needs. Bookings are open for makeup. Also, she has her own cosmetic line. The website is www.shopmakeupismylife.com. So give us a call, 248-820-5053. We're down here in the city of Flint, getting it out of the mud. Man, Barry, you just put some heavy stuff on the mic, man. Let me see if that mic still got a little weight on it. I don't know. What do you do for fun? I mean, you sound like you just straight business.
Well, that's what my wife.
You said you don't play basketball no more.
That's what my wife said. I'm always business minded, but no, I like to play chess. I got to get back out on the golf course. I miss swimming clubs. But and then this, I'm a heavy reader. I like to read. Right now, I'm reading John Maxwell's The 15 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership.
Okay.
Because the one thing he said, you got to be a great leader of yourself before you can lead others.
Absolutely.
And that's the one thing I want to be I want to be a great leader for me, to where when I'm leading others, they're not just flourishing on what I do, they flourishing on what they do.
So one of the leadership books that I read that was it was from Simon Sinek.
Okay.
Leaders Eat Last. And how leadership allows their team to grow and they reward them first before they do anything. So yeah, I love to read nonfiction, self-help, motivational, spiritual books like that. Yeah, just to help, to strengthen that mind muscle.
You know why I'm smiling? Because I read Simon Sinek too, and
Yeah.
I just read his book, Start With Your Why.
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Yes, and so that is my business motto, and where I started is because I'm the oldest of 5, and I always wanted to help others, and I think that's my gift.
Okay.
Right, and that's my why. So when thinking about what am I going to do for a business, it's absolutely to help others, because that's what I build my life on. But
we
absolutely,
got too much in common because I'm the oldest out of 6.
Are you?
Wow. All right, great minds. So not one of my mentor, David, I shout him out a lot. I love him. That's my guy. Okay. He gave me this plaque that hangs in my office, and it says, leadership is about making others better as a result of your presence and making sure that the impact lasts in your absence. So that's kind of like what you said, and I love that because ever since he gave me that, I feel like the pressure of life and things like that, because I'm not a follower. I feel I'm a leader, but I want to make sure everybody around me is leaders too. So you got to differentiate who is around you, whether this person is there just to follow you or also to walk side by side with you to lead and understand and learn and be more prosperous for not just themselves, but other people. Just like what you're saying, breaking these strongholds. Man, I love today. Today just made me inspired. I really, really do, because I'm tired of being down and out. And not just physically, mentally, or financially. I want my entire inner being to be happy every day.
Absolutely.
I want to smile about something every day.
Yeah. That's funny because we have a caller.
Oh, we got a caller? Come on, caller. What you got here for us?
Caller, can you hear us?
Hello? We can barely hear you. You might have to put the headphones on.
Can you hear us, caller? Caller, can you hear us?
Can't get my headphones on.
I know mine's doing something weird.
Caller, can you hear us? Can you hear us, caller?
I hear something.
Caller, can you hear? I hear them, but I don't know why they can't hear them.
Yeah, hello?
There you go.
Yes,
can you hear
there
us,
you
caller?
go.
Hi, caller.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Hello.
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
All right. Hello.
Yes, I can hear you now.
Hello.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying hello. How are you?
Yes.
Hey, how's it going?
It's
First,
going well.
I'd like to say, okay, well, yes, I can. How you doing?
I'm doing good. And yourself?
Yeah, I'm here. Okay, how you doing? I'm sorry. I just want to say, first, I want to say great show you guys got going on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'd like to say to the gentleman, that was some very good information that he's giving out.
I appreciate that.
And I can see why he's been married 27 years. I see you using the very white technique in the voice. But I was just curious. You touched bases on that unity. That unity is a key thing. So what do you think a good ingredient would be to try to get this unity thing back to where we need it?
Well, one thing is going to take us working together. It's going to take one to where we can sit down and be able to work as a stronghold, to where we look at things on a positive for what we bring to the table to be able to share. It's going to take also for us to take our own opinions out of the situation and be able to bring the direction for what we want to be able to bring forth to those that wanted to get the information and be able to stand up on that information, to be able to lead it out and be able to bring it to everyone. Because the one thing that makes it the strength of everything is Zig Ziglar said it this way: if you help enough people, you'll get everything you want just by helping them to get everything they want.
Absolutely.
So that's the thing that you want to be able to do, because we got to look at it based on what's being done, not what's need to be done, but what's being done.
All right. You hear that, caller? You got some good information coming out to you. You still there? Can you hear me, caller?
Okay, then great answer, and thank you guys. Y'all have a blessed evening.
Thank
All
you
right.
for calling in.
Yes.
Have a good day.
And can I just share one more thing with you?
Yes,
Listen, I do a
yes, I can.
I do an entrepreneur
I can hear you.
I do an entrepreneur business briefing every second Wednesday and fourth Wednesday of the month in Grand Blanc at
Yes,
5452
sir.
5452 South Saginaw Street at BU5 is the location, right directly across from the Grand Blanc Police Department. And it's at 6 p.m. every second Wednesday and fourth Wednesday of the month. Like this Wednesday, we will be there this Wednesday coming up.
Okay.
So if you want to come and learn about how to protect yourself, how to get access to information that be able to build on the things that you want to be able to do for you and your family and for you and your business, we're going to be doing a free business presentation. So it doesn't cost you to come and listen.
Did you say free 99?
Free 99.
It doesn't cost you
No
to come
tax.
listen. No tax.
No tax.
The only thing costs you if you want to take part of it, then you just pay a subscription to be able to take part of it. But that doesn't cost you nothing to listen and come ask questions.
Okay.
Amen. Flint Town, it's time to break some strongholds. This nice gentleman here is pretty much giving you the foundation, a little taste of it, so that you can understand that in order to build yourself, whether it be for your
Thank
own
you.
business,
You're
oh,
welcome.
you're welcome.
Thank
Whether it be for your own business or whether it be for you helping somebody else create a business or start a business, that he's got good information. I think that we should take advantage of that. I'm gonna get up off these headphones because that echo will be killing me. I feel like I'm yelling at somebody. Make you feel like you're deaf a little bit. Thank you, caller, for calling in. I really appreciate that. If any of you other watchers, viewers out there, like, share, and subscribe. Out of the Mud Inc. coming to you today, April 7th. Y'all, the summer's coming. It's getting spring outside. What y'all gonna be doing this summer? What y'all gonna be cooking? And y'all, let's get the grilling now. You never know. You might get some extra visitors because soul food brings the soul together.
Yes.
I'm just saying. So I know you talked about sports. I like football. I'm not really a basketball fan, but I will watch it a little bit. Did you play football any?
I played football too. I played wide receiver and quarterback.
Okay. It's all around doing things. All right. Okay.
As well as
for your
baseball.
high school or
Baseball,
college?
I played baseball too, center field and second base.
You got a lot of athletes in your family?
Yeah.
Oh God, I was just gonna say, well, him doing all that, they like, you doing it, you gonna wear them hand-me-down cleats. You gonna keep that uniform,
Well,
save it
that's
for the
how it
next
was,
one.
It started from me and went
Right.
down.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I wrote it down. You said you had how many brothers and sisters?
I got 4 brothers and 2 sisters.
Okay. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah. I got quite a few myself.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Especially if they all sharing them uniforms and the sports say some money. Hey, me and my brothers wore the same clothes. So hey, sometimes the struggle is real. Shoot, I'm trying to tell you.
They're all doing well.
That's good. That's good. So being here in Flint for 22 years, you've watched a lot of things grow, tear down, break down, demolish, all around us, different things, the blight and all of that. Would you say that some of the people that were in those positions that had all this stuff gave up or lost sight of their vision?
I want to interject because a lot of people say that. And there was an epidemic here, right? We had the drug epidemic, but the drug epidemic hit a lot of urban cities. But what people don't say is that one business took 80,000 jobs. And when you
That's
have
true.
that of course there's going to be blight. When you have 80,000 jobs that leave from 100,000 person city, you're going to have blight. And I don't think that's mentioned enough.
I don't think so
They
either.
packed up Buick, which ran the full length of Flint, and shut it down. And there were 80,000 workers in that factory. Wow. And they actually built up another city, Antioch in Tennessee. So they built up with those same people. They built up the city of Nashville with automotive. So no one really gets into that. And because I'm in automotive, I'm really, versed on that.
That's awesome though, because I'm asking him that question. What do you think happened?
Yeah,
You
I
know,
mean that
did they lose their sight of vision of what they have for Flint, or
well, Jim said and put us on notice, we're going to leave. And we said, don't leave, we'll give you all these tax abatements. So instead of us getting more money, knowing that they're going to leave so we can take that money and attract other businesses, we let them leave, right? We lost all that. We didn't have any foresight because GM was created here and no one could imagine that GM will pick up and leave.
wow.
No one could imagine that. Like no one could ever imagine in our day that we would not have 4 standing high schools. We had athletes, actors. We have so many famous people come out of this little city, and no one had the foresight to say, we need to do something different, because we've always done the GM thing and we were always prosperous with it. So why would we change? So sorry.
No, that was awesome.
I'm very passionate about Flint.
Awesome.
And people don't see it in the caller asked, I think leadership and understanding the goal, because right now we're fighting over everything when the ultimate goal is to bring Flint back to where it was.
Yeah.
And if we all fought towards that same goal, then we can all focus on that, and all the and everything else will fall to the wayside. It'll fix itself in the meanwhile.
Yes.
But even with us fighting and bickering, we have growth happening around here.
Yes.
Everywhere. Downtown is exploding. With small businesses, with large businesses, with Michigan State. We never had this was a Michigan town. We have Michigan State now.
What? I did notice that. Go State.
And even the Capitol, the whole time I grew up, the Capitol was never open. They have so much stuff going on. So, I mean, there is opportunity. I think as Flintstones, we need to get our head out of what we used to have and how it used to be, and get to the goal of we are creating a new Flint.
Kind of what you said.
I think once we all get on that same page, it'll go as Detroit. Because so goes Detroit, so goes Flint. I don't care what anybody says. When Detroit prospers, it always trickles down to us. When Detroit fails, it trickles down to us. So I hope that I'm around when Flint
bounce back
fully bounces back.
I want to see what it's like. Hey, that's what this poem was called, When the Pressure's On.
Yeah.
We trying to grow and do things.
Mary.
I want to say this because I did not grow here, so I appreciate what you're saying, but I want to take it from a different perspective, because when I seen the downturn of the housing industry.
That was the first to go, other than the jobs.
In 2008, 2009,
we were
2010.
We were already gone by then.
That's when I seen the changing. That's when I noticed the change. That's when I went to my wife and told her, I said, we have to make some adjustments. We have to start with the man in the mirror. To make some things and put some things in place to where we can see our way through what's getting ready to happen.
Right.
And
wow. That's strong.
I'm gonna let you finish your point, but I got a question for you.
Okay.
About 2008.
Yeah, because being in that circle, because I was still an entrepreneur then. I was still doing the business that I'm gonna talk about last in a minute. When I came here, I was still working for myself.
Okay.
So I got to see the different things that was happening within the different cities, because I wasn't just in Flint. I was in Lansing. I was in Ann Arbor. I was in Detroit. So I got to see those initiatives that were happening and how they were affecting the areas that it was affecting.
Right.
Wow.
And the differences that was happening for those individuals, and watching a lot of individuals leave.
Right. Yes.
And when you have a lot of leadership leave a city, that's telling you change.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. What happened? They lost their vision. Yeah. What's going on?
No, it's not that they lost their vision. No. It's the change that they didn't see that was happening, that they were going somewhere else to where they wanted to make it happen.
Yeah. Dang. Just left us hanging.
So 2008 was a scary time. What is 2025 looking like?
Oh, boogity. I'm scared.
I'm excited for 2025.
am scared to look at my 401k. I will not.
I wouldn't say be scared. What I would say is adjust. Adjust to one, the technology. Here's it is. Look at it like this. In 2008, Barry White sat down in front of Larry King and told Larry King that the world is changing. Technology is going to change the world to where it'll never be the same.
Okay.
2025, the world is changing again because of AI.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
AI is going to change things to where it's going to make every business change to operate in a different format.
Yes.
But it's also going to give a lot of us back that personal one-on-one touch if we see it the right way.
Okay.
So that's why I'm saying
it's the excited. Paradigm shift. We're in the middle of
that's
a paradigm.
That's why I'm excited for 2025.
Okay.
Yep.
So you think AI is going to help businesses?
Oh, it already does.
It already does.
It's crazy because it kind of pushes you to be more ahead of time. Because the AI stuff, like just with the stuff that's happening on your phones, I can't believe all the different stuff. You can write a paper. You can have your phone write a paper for
you.
But
I
you
witnessed
also,
that, but that's
see, the
scary
thing
to
about
me.
it is you also have to be smart enough and proficient enough with AI so that you aren't caught using AI. Like, yeah, because you can prompt it to do a lot of things, but it'll write it all and it won't be in your voice. It won't have your business. It won't have your stats. So what? And maybe our kids being on phones all the time and in technology will be the way for them. But you have to prompt it to tell it to do anything. And if you're good at AI, you can prompt it to do anything for you.
But you got to be proficient enough to understand what it's saying that you can translate it into your words,
into your voice.
Yes.
Like what is
right?
Because it's like it's mimicking you. It's taking. It ain't getting your DNA, but it's getting your mental makeup of you. And every time you talk about stuff or you're interested in something, it give you suggestions and it put it in a perspective where it'll be more business mind formatted. But AI scares me because I witnessed this firsthand. I was at my homegirl house. Shout out to Terralisa, KK, and she was on her AI thing, and she was talking about. She's showing me pictures of different designs of what she wanted to paint her house and what kind of portraits she wanted to put up. And then she set her phone down, and when she picked it up to open it up to continue what she was doing, she said, "Look at this," and it just says, "Would you like to look at ancient profile right now?" And then it started giving her words and different things. And I was like, "Ooh, it's learning you." Is learning what you want and what you're looking at.
And
it's like a robot.
And you can use that to your benefit.
That scared me.
But tell this what you want to talk about. You want this in it.
But
you can put your own. You can almost like you say, put your own personalities.
You can. But that's what's going to make it. That's what's going to make it agile. And remember, our grandparents were scared of the microwave. How you warming that food up that fast?
Are you serious? I ain't never heard nobody be scared.
Oh, it took my grandmother a long time to buy a microwave because what? How are you warming that food up that fast?
Girl, I was watching The Price is Right the other day. Just the old school where Bob Barker got that little skinny microphone like this pen, and his hair was darker, his toupee or whatever it was, and they had a microwave on there for $400. It wasn't a Maytag. I think it was a Broyhill or whatever it was. And I'm up here thinking, like, man, back then,
yes,
a microwave was $400.
First of all,
and it was the big boy with the little inside.
What we forget is computers took up a whole room, and then when they didn't take up a whole room, they took up your whole paycheck plus some. And now you literally have a phone that's a computer,
right,
in your hand.
That's right.
Do you think that without what type of world would it be without phones and computers and all of that type of stuff? You think?
But we had it.
1800s.
But we had it, and we're in the industrial 4.0. That means that we are shifting. It's no shift back. There were probably a lot of people with horses.
There's no way to go back.
There were probably a lot of people with horses that was like, I'll never get a car.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
And now they probably drive a car.
Unless you Amish, you know.
Like this,
Girl, shout out to the Amish people still keeping it old school.
The name of the company, but last week when we had all the storms, and they were on the TV saying that they wanted to set the technology to where it's going to be able to have everything up and running in 24 hours. People still out without our power today.
That's right.
So when it's shut down, it's going to shut down to where you won't be able to do anything. Yeah,
it's going to shut everything.
And one of the main industries that's going to be hit the hard for that adjustment will be the financial industry.
You think so?
We're long away from analog days. We all digital now.
Why do you think the financial will be there?
Because everything is being directed toward computers.
Oh, okay.
Toward
automation. Because
the digital mindset.
Because at my credit union, we have the little teletubbies. They're not like real people. Yes.
The talking Jenny is coming back.
But you know what? If you embrace it instead of fear it and prepare for it, then you
it's not just based on fear. You don't have to fear it. It's just because you still be able to function and do what you want to do.
But people are afraid.
They're afraid. That's what I'm saying. They're afraid to break the stronghold. They're afraid to trust. They're afraid to say, "Oh, wait a minute, there we go." Afraid of change.
It's not the change that they're afraid of. And I'm going to tell you what they're really afraid of is the identity of their stuff being stolen.
Well, it makes it more vulnerable to be stolen, right?
But not necessarily, because identity theft is the biggest crime in the world today. There's no bigger crime than identity.
Wow,
that is.
And they're doing it cyberly too.
Every way there is.
They got me at the border.
And the thing, and that's one of my main businesses, is protecting your personal and financial information. Is that I provide that service on a high level, and we give you the actual investigator to be able to get you back to where you need to be, and you don't have to take off of work to go do it. We do it for you. So that's the good thing that makes it happen, because you got a lot of companies out there that want to do it but can't. We've been doing it for 52 years.
Oh, wow.
I represent the company that's been doing it the longest, that's mastered it. And now they're giving it to where we're putting it to where we're looking not just to change the industry, but make the industry where it's going to be sufficient for everyone that's involved.
And is this company local based, or is it
based out of Ada, Oklahoma?
Ada.
A-D-A. I mean, A-D-A.
ADA, Oklahoma. I never heard of that.
And it's ID Shield. And we provide like
with the little badge that be showing up on the thing. Oh, okay. I heard of ID Shield. Okay. All right.
I've been representing them now for 24 years. I've been with them 24 years. I haven't missed a beat on anything that need to be done. They give you how strong it is. And like you talked about, Antonio, I was doing something on my computer, and I went on. I'm not going to name the company. I'm going to keep the company out of it. And I went on the website to do something to pay the bill. And the bill didn't match up to what I wanted it to be. So I went on to the contact us side of it to call the 800 number. So I called the 800 number. And when I called the 800 number, the gentleman said, okay, yeah, we can look at everything and work with you. We need to sign on to your computer to see what your information was. Me not really thinking at that moment, I said, all right, let's do that so you can actually see what I'm working with. And then we go ahead and get it done, and then I can keep doing what I'm doing. No sooner I did that, my wife looked at me, she said, babe, why you do that? I said,
Got you that quick.
He said, well, I need to do a couple of things, and my computer just went blank. I couldn't see anything.
Oh, man.
So no sooner I did that, I hit my phone, and my app is on my phone. I pulled the app up, hit the 24-hour call line, told them what was going on, gave them the sign on. They shut my whole computer down from their side. Went to the bank that morning, told them what was going on. They looked at my account. They said, yeah, he was getting ready to move $3,500 from the 3 different accounts from you.
That's why I'll always be nervous about that over the phone stuff.
And and then I had the company put blocks on everything. So now I have blocks on everything.
Okay.
And then also the investigator, he said, Barry, we got everything locked out. We got everything blocked from the dark web, so you ain't got to worry about anything being sold internationally.
Right.
So you're fine. He said, so from this point on, it's just don't do anything else crazy.
Right. But anytime, and that's what I heard. Anytime they ask you, can we get into your computer? That's a red flag. Yeah. But it's funny because they're able to mirror real companies and have you click on them and
they got,
and give them all
movie?
your information.
The Beekeeper. That movie,
I
The
never
Beekeeper.
saw The Beekeeper.
And then the software program that we have with ours, they went in and cleaned out everything that I had in there and put my system back to the way it was before
good.
it was.
So I know that's right. That's what I'm talking about.
I remember when I was in the military. When I first got into the military, I didn't understand about like identity thefts and people take your identity. When I went to get out the military and I came back here and I was first trying to look for a house. I found out someone when I was in Virginia actually purchased a house, all my information.
Wow!
I promise you, I swear to God. I contacted the bank, and this is back when like the internet wasn't
big.
like
as big as it is.
So this person actually had to go in, sign my name, say their me. I'm like, I cannot believe like people actually steal people's identity.
Oh, absolutely.
He just said that's the biggest crime.
With all my information.
That's the biggest crime.
It was crazy.
Man.
You know, the thing that we don't understand is that even when we go to make purchases in stores, our information go over to 40,000 different databases right there. So transaction. There's four.
I did not need to hear that.
It's four processing centers that your information go to even before it gets to the credit bureaus.
Wow.
What?
Yeah.
Callers, I mean, I keep wanting to say callers because callers, viewers,
so
texters. Y'all hear that?
We protect you on all four of those process centers.
Wow.
As well as the credit bureaus. So that's the good thing that we provide. And it's reasonably. And the thing is the pricing is very reasonable.
Okay.
But the thing that makes us, Forbes magazine, Bloomberg, CNBC, what's the other one? The Better Business Bureau all rated our program as A+.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure people want to know. Make sure your credentials is good.
Yeah.
Well, that is awesome. I mean, to me, again, breaking strongholds and learning a little bit what you taught us today, I feel like I'm ready to take a plunge at it because I think that the more that we become unity and learn these things and move forward in life, we'll be better off, taking care of ourselves later down the line.
Absolutely.
And I always said, if I had a lot of money, hit the Mega Millions, whatever, I'll start opening back up these schools in Flint, these main schools. I'm a product of these schools.
Right.
You're a product of these schools.
Right.
These schools is what taught us how to be resilient the way we are right now.
Absolutely.
And I think we're losing hope in sight of that because of, again, the blight. There's no jobs because it's out of here. There's no knowledge about the foundation of sustaining a good job or even to become your own boss.
Yep.
Yes.
We need all these things. We need to, continue as a people to grow together.
Absolutely.
And we need to grow and get it out of the mud. All right. Well, let me give one more shout out to Out of the Mud Inc., George F. Grundy II, and James Mayfield, the greatest Mayfield. Coming to you today. Got my guest here, Barry Fisher. I hope you come back again so we can discuss some more. I mean, these little crumblets that you're dropping for us, I'm hungry. I'm ready to eat. And Tamika, you too as well. I think I need both of you at the same time because y'all got that extra knowledge that I don't know. So I'm getting fed on both sides, y'all. But I ain't full yet. I need some more.
Okay.
I need some more.
I learned a lot today too myself, and thank you.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Very much.
Another shout out to MUA Jock for all your beauty needs. Bookings are open for makeup. Also, she has her own cosmetic line. The website is www.shopmakeupismylife.com. Again, we're here at the Out of the Mud, 820-248. 820. I said it backwards, didn't I? 248-820-5053. And I know it by heart. And then on Wednesday of this week, won't you all check out Barry at his little workshop thing, 5452 South Saginaw Street. You said BU5?
Yeah, BEYOU.
BEYOU.
OUTI 5.
I'm just kidding. It's
I know
sometimes
it's in the Dollar General little plaza over there. Okay,
Dollar
I know
General
where that's
Plaza.
at.
Yep,
Okay.
right, directly across.
I'm sorry, I was just being silly. That song came to mind. You remember that song?
Yeah.
AEIOU.
Yeah.
Hey, we're trying
Sometimes
here.
why?
Yeah, sometimes why? So yeah, he's gonna be there this Wednesday at 6 p.m. Go check him out, get some of that knowledge dropped on you. And when you get there, say you got it from Red Alert,
That's
RBT.
right.
Snap